Hey, you, the triber. Welcome back again to my channel. Yes, so I have been navigating a very big waiting season, and I am here today to chit chat on what I've been learning about that, the things I have been trying to do better with regards to that, so as to help myself and also be in alignment with what God is doing in my life at this point in time. Because certainly I am sure He's doing something, a new thing, but I can't place my hand on it yet. Not maybe I can perceive that a bit, but not entirely. But one thing I know for sure is that He's doing something new. He's doing a whole lot of things. It could be hard sometimes navigating the season where you have to wait for the manifestations of the things you've prayed for, right? And the things you're waiting for. So let's chit chat a bit about that. So lately, I have come to realize that one of the things that could often come up with navigating waiting seasons or in our waiting seasons is the need to readjust, replan, just readjust our desires. So, when you're waiting for something, let's just assume, for example, you've been waiting for something for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then getting to the third week, you feel like, oh, I've been waiting for this for a very long time. Maybe I should make some adjustments with the things I want. I could get rid of A and then settle for B, and yeah, something like that. That is it. Settling is just one of the things that could occur when we are navigating our waiting seasons. We may tend to settle for less. When it comes to the things God wants for us, in some cases, there may be an alignment with what God wants for us and what we want for ourselves. Like when you have wholeheartedly agreed to what God wants for you, right? And then in some scenarios, there may be a difference in the things we want. Yes, whereby God wants something for you, and then you are looking for something entirely different from what God wants. And in such situations, trust me, yours would always be less. Yes, I'm talking from a place of experience. For the different times I have desired something, and I feel like I want it to go this way, I want it to be this way, or something like that, and then God already wants it to be this way. Trust me, God's ways is always the best. In this waiting season, I have learned that there is a thin line between waiting and waking up the next morning and trying to make some readjustments to the things you desire just because you feel is a way out. My dear, I'm here to tell you today that it's not the way out. It is not the way out. It's not the way. It may look easy. It may look as if it's okay, fine. I've gotten rid of A. Can the thing just come? Who told you that? Who told you God wants to give you less? Who told you that God is ready to give you less? No. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. He would not want to give you less. Else, maybe you then try to enforce your will. Because I also believe that there is a case of enforcing your will against God's will. Things like that also come up. But I know that if we entirely surrender to God, there is a room where He gives us better than what we want, better than what we deserve, and the better than the things we are settling for. Hmm? So that is just one of the things I have been navigating. Yeah, severally. I would very sincere. There are days I wake up and then I ask myself several questions. Are you sure you're not doing too much? Are you sure you're not expecting too much? And the rest of them. One thing also with settling is that even in those moments when I try to see if I can readjust, I don't even get the peace. I feel more peace waiting for that thing I desired than settling. I feel like settling or trying to readjust the things I desire even takes more from me than waiting. So I have learned to always wave off such thoughts to readjust and thoughts to settle. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but yeah, resisting to readjust, resisting to settle, re-strategize your plans and the rest of them, all those things, and especially when it's not in alignment with God's will and God's plans for us. Mm-mm. It's not often the easiest. You may find it easy, but trust me, sit down, think deep within you, think, reflect on it. Just you will get to a place where you will know that your readjustment is not even in alignment. Like I would always say, if there is no peace to what I feel with regards to the things I desire or maybe the things I'm waiting for, then it is not from God. Then it could be my method, because I've never seen anytime when God places something in my heart or something in my mind and then I'm battling with the peace. Yes, because we are imperfect humans, I would always make emphasis on our imperfections as humans. We could wake up one day and then we feel like we're doubting. Yes, because we're imperfect. But beneath that doubt, there would always be a peace that will have to override that doubt for you to still be in tune with what God is doing. There are a lot of things with navigating waiting seasons. There are a lot of things with waiting on God, desiring things, waiting for the answers to come, waiting to carry your answers, and a whole lot of things. But lately, I feel this is the main one I have been battling with. Not once, not twice. I have battled with that, and I feel like it's something I should chit chat about, think about, and just to remind myself and also to encourage someone out there who is thinking of readjusting his plans that is in alignment with what God wants. Yes, because I am very sure that the things I am waiting for, I am certain that what I'm waiting for is in alignment with what God wants for me, right? But due to imperfections again as humans, pressure and you know, just impatience, right? I wake up sometimes in the morning and I feel like, oh, can't I just this? Can't I just, especially, and it's very hard though. It's very hard to resist such um urge to settle or readjust when that thing you feel you need is staring at you. Then I wonder, ah, if we can actually have a peep of God's emotions when we try to readjust or settle. And trust me, if I can predict, I'll tell you what God will be saying is, what is this my daughter doing? Eh? What is ignorance causing this my daughter to do? When it comes to working with God, one of the hardest of them all is navigating waiting seasons, because the very moment you take a personal decision to wait on God, to wait for Him to help you bring forth a whole lot of things you expecting. His ways are certainly not our ways. We could be expecting it to happen this minute, and he's telling you you're not prepared, and you just have to wait a little longer. And it's not always easy. But then someone on the side may think, oh, that she said she's working with God. That she said she's in tune with what God is doing in her life. And then why is she waiting and all these things? And why is it no coming? Working with God is not one of the easiest. It's not one of the easiest. You can wake up in the morning, and because of your trust in God, because you've surrendered to God, yes, emphasis on surrendering to God, because you've surrendered to God and you've given God the opportunity to come into your life to um, transform, re-strategize, help you plan, and help you do everything in alignment with His will. That's which means you're going to walk according to his pace. And most of the times, his pace could be speedy. And there are days when he would be doing a whole lot of underground work, and then it appears as if nothing is happening, but something is happening. Those are the moments when it looks as if there is a case of a waiting on our part. And it's not often the easiest. Generally, working with God, I would say, is the most beneficial thing to do in life, but it's not the easiest, especially in waiting seasons. So yeah, that is what I've been navigating so far so good, learning from so far so good, and I must confess that I have been doing so well, and I have come to a place where I am learning not to compromise, not to compromise to the extent that I crave or go for the things that are less than what God plans for me. I'm going to wait it out. And I encourage you also to wait it out. Yes, God have big, big, big plans for us. Remember, He said in the book of Jeremiah 29:11 that He knows the plans He has for us, plans of good and not of disaster, to take us to our expected end. And in the book of Isaiah 43:19, He also says that He is already doing a new thing, that we should forget about the past, focus on the new things He's doing. I can't we perceive it? So yeah, it's been a whole lot, and I am happy for where I am, and I am grateful for God who has been teaching me through this waiting season. While we wait for the end of it, I remain hopeful, and I also encourage you to remain hopeful. And I hope this video inspires you to keep on waiting in hope if there is something you're waiting for, and keep on trusting God, because He would certainly not fail in His promises. I'm sure. Okay.